Has this ever happened to you? You spot what looks like a perfect bounce play, only for it to break your key level and continue in the direction that you don't want it to go into. Well, this happened to me today, and it's not like it was a bad trade, it just didn't work out. But after looking back at this trade, I missed one crucial detail that could have kept me out of this trade. So in this video, I'm going to show you the secret that I discovered that could have kept me out of this trade, and that can also help me avoid taking false bounces. Now looking at my TradeZilla, we can see that today I was down $304 because of this false bounce play. Now if we dive back into TradingView, we're going to see the trade that I actually took. And we can see that today price was fairly bearish. We opened up below the daily and we continued the trend lower on the New York session. And we can see the blue New York anchored VWAP here. Price broke below and stayed below the New York anchored VWAP pretty much the majority of the morning session. So before going in short, I wanted to allow price to make a pullback to attempt to continue this trend lower. But the thing that could have kept me out of this trade is if I would have to zoom out of the lower time frame and if I would have just put a little bit more focus on the 15-minute. Because if we see here, I'm going in mid bullish candle. I need to allow this 15-minute candle to let me know what it wants to do. Does it want to break the New York VWAP, continue higher, or are we going to kind of reject here, find our top, and then continue lower? So the fact that I did not wait for this 15-minute candle closure kind of screwed me in this trade because I got pretty heavily induced in the lower time frame because of how nice this 2-minute candle closure appeared. And then it broke that candle's low, faked like it wanted to go lower, but in fact just went higher. And if I would have just waited for this candle's closure to end, because I believe in the actual time that I was taking this trade, there was still like 5 minutes till this candle closure. And if we would have waited for that 15-minute candle closure, we would have got in around this area. Now, obviously on the 2-minute chart, yes, it looks great. But do I want to go short after a bar on the 15-minute chart is able to close like this? Bullish, and it closed above the New York. Yeah, there's wicks on top, wicks on the bottom, but to me, I'd ideally want to just be a little bit more patient, let the 15-minute tell me when it's exhausted. For example, if we just look at the daily VWAP and how price reacted around that price level, we can see that it looks a little better, and that would have been a better short for me to take. Because here on the 15-minute, we can see that price pushed higher, but we could not get a candle closure above the daily, and we left with a nice wick indicating that, okay, sellers have stepped in here, and this could potentially be a signal on the 15-minute for us to be able to actually take a short, playing the bounce play or rejection play off the daily VWAP. And if we look at the 2-minute chart, it looks pretty decent as well. We get a very nice rejection candle here. We take a little bit of chop at our entry, but then we can just take profit out right near the New York VWAP, trading level to level. But this would have been a much better short to take. Now, obviously, in the actual moment, this just looks so good, and I'm being extremely picky. These are just things that I'm noticing and trying to reflect upon of being patient, letting the 15-minute tell me when it is a good time to get in. But to be honest, we don't have many days like this to where we just push lower and then we continue higher like this. So I'm not angry that I lost this trade because it was a good attempt. I'm just being a little bit picky and seeing what improvements I could have made. But of course, I've been only trading for the last year and a half. So everything I say in this video, just take it with a grain of salt and try to see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then I could be wrong. But if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to follow me on all my socials on X and YouTube, as I post a lot of content like this and you guys can see my growth real time as I progress in my goal of becoming a successful trader.